everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today is March 9th, and in this video I want to give you an update on this little beautiful girl, Faye Swetlik. She is a 6-year-old girl who went missing out of Casey, South Carolina on February 10th, and also an update on my health condition. As you see, I'm off my oxygen, so that's a good sign. But there's still some other problems. And I'm going to give you an update on that health condition. But first, here's an synopsis of what I'm going to be discussing in this video. Monday, February 10th, 2020, Faye vanished from her front yards at 16 Londonderry Square in Casey, South Carolina. Her family told police Faye got off the school bus at her regular stop and made it home safely. When the mother noticed she was missing about 3:44 p.m. that day, she called friends and neighbors after searching for her frantically for about an hour. She then called 911 at 5 p.m. and you will hear this chilling 911 call along with a video timeline coming up of this case from the time she went missing on February 10th up to February 17th. But first, I want to rewind a little bit back to my last live stream on February 13th before I show you this timeline. The live stream was on Faye Swetlik and Cody Taylor's bodies being found in 2 separate locations that morning. But at the time, according to the Casey Department of Public Safety's Facebook page, they were saying the deceased male was not being linked to Faye's body, and then later said he was. You can watch the full press conference on that in the description below. I put the link in the video in the description, and also I'll be posting this link in the live chat over on dlive.tv. Okay, now to my health. In that live stream, I mentioned in the chat that morning that I would not be available to chat with anyone because I was heading out the door for an urgent appointment and discussion with my doctor that has been affecting my breathing, health, and mental stability now for several months. Where I am currently residing, I don't want to get into too much detail in this video about this. I just want to let my subscribers and followers over on DLive and here on YouTube. For the time being, I will be unable to do any live streams or case updates. But however, there is one thing I will mention at the end of this video timeline, and I'll discuss that after this.
Hi, this is Julie Marie, and you're listening to SYM Radio, the music, entertainment, and talk show that has been endorsed by several organizations, activists, and family members dedicated to raising awareness to missing cases.
This webcaster uses Radio Amber, the Internet Radio Amber Alert System, helping to keep your children safe. A public service from the Internet broadcasting community and this station.
Speak Your Mind Radio is an internet radio community on DLive, broadcasting abducted child alerts, missing person cases, and bringing breaking and top news to you affecting our world, along with music and talk radio.
Thanks for listening.
Hello, good evening, and welcome subscribers and new subscribers to my channel. If you are not already subscribed to me, please subscribe. You can also follow me over on DLive, and that is dlive.tv/SYM Radio. Before I start tonight, I just wanted to give my viewers an update on my health condition and why I haven't been able to report on any missing cases or new breaking news in the past few weeks. Back about a month ago, I did a trailer video for my channel talking about what SYM Radio was all about. And at the time being, I wasn't going to be doing any live streams or any videos because of my condition. As you see up on the screen, there is a slideshow of some pictures this is what has been causing my, affecting my health and why I've been sick, and not being able to do any videos at all. But I did upload some old content that I did back in 2013 and I think 2016 or 2012. I did on I uploaded two of those. One was on Tabitha Franklin and Phoenix Colden. I still have an interview with the mother of Jesse Foster. I'm still trying to get that content from the person who streamed it on his broadcast. So as soon as I get that, I'll be uploading that here. But like I said, as you see here, as in this slideshow, these are the pictures. There's mold that's up on the third floor. That's as you see, you're going to be hearing a clip here later on about the condition and talking a little bit. And there's some clips in there I got from the actual conversation with the landlord, letting him know about it, and other things. And nothing has been done yet. I've spoken with the health officer. They've given him, of course, by law, they have to give him 30 days. 30 days is going to be coming up here on the 21st of this month. And there's another one with the mold that has been addressed, like I say, to the landlord. It's been addressed to the health department, but I have to wait, of course, to see if the landlord's going to do anything about this matter with the mold. Because you'll hear in the video that he mentioned that had been there a while. So basically admitting to the fact he knew about the mold and he didn't do anything about it. This apartment has not been rented. The last time it was rented, I think it was 6-7 years ago. I know that there was some stuff that he had to do to start bringing it up to code. Well, looking at some of the stuff up there, I don't think it has been. And the roof has leaked for several years. And he says he's fixed it, but he's not doing it the right way. He does it himself. He does it the cheap way. So it does keep leaking there. So I just want to gear more to this, what I'm going to be talking about in this video. And that is the timeline I'm going to show you of Faye Marie Swetlik, who she's a 6-year-old girl that was abducted and murdered several hours later after her abduction. So I'm going to play you this timeline that takes us through the what had happened over the past few days, from the 10th to the 13th, when her body and Cody Taylor's body was found. Cody Taylor is the one who abducted her. And we'll be going into some of those social media posts that I found. And there's a few that I find pretty interesting. And there's two of his social media, well, he's got 3, but there's 2 social media also accounts on YouTube where he's posted some things that in my opinion, I'll let you know at the end of this clip. I'm going to be talking about a vibrant 6-year-old girl, Faye Marie Swetlik. I know this may be well-known news to most of you here who follow true crime and breaking news on YouTube. But due to my health conditions and unforeseen circumstances, which I'll talk about another time in a future video that will be coming up in the next coming months, I was unable to do anything on this case in the past week. So I'm going to start with a little bit of synopsis for my other followers over on DLive tonight, to let them know about this case. And for those of you who are not familiar with this case, Faye is a 6-year-old girl who was found dead last Thursday in Casey, South Carolina. She had allegedly disappeared from her front yard at least 3 days earlier. Investigators and law enforcement are now saying that she was abducted and killed by her neighbor, 30-year-old Cody Scott Taylor, who committed suicide after police found her body. They have released very little information in this case, out of respect for the family in regards to the condition of Faye when she was found, understandably so. But there are still some big questions that a lot of people have. But first, I'm going to be sharing with you a video timeline from last Monday up to February 17th for you. And then I'll be sharing with you some social media posts pertaining to Cody Taylor. So without further ado, let's get started.
Nigeria. Lexington County 911, what's the address of your emergency?
16 Londonderry Square. I need to report a missing child.
All right, repeat that address for verification.
16 Londonderry Square, Casey, South Carolina.
All right, and tell me exactly what's happening.
I can't. We can't find my daughter. She was playing outside, and now I can't find her. And I have
Okay, how old is she?
She is 6. She's going to be 7 in June.
All right. I'm going to stay on the line with you, but I'm going to get KCPD on the line too, but I'm going to stay on the line, so don't hang up, okay?
Okay.
Casey, 911, is your heart speech reached by medical? Hey, Casey, this is Lexington. I've got a lady at 16 Londonderry Square. Her 6-year-old was in the front yard, and she can't find her now. All right, hold on. What's the number, 16? 16 Londonderry Square. And I have her phone number. I'm going to stay on the line so it doesn't get disconnected. And I'm going to stay on the line just so it doesn't hang up. Okay, ma'am. All right, ma'am. You're on the phone with Casey. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. Can you tell me what your son's name is?
My daughter's name is Faye Swetlik. Faye.
Hold on. All right. What was the first name again?
Faye.
Faye, Faye?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's your last name?
Swetlik.
Spell that for me.
Swetlik.
Okay, and what was she wearing?
She was wearing polka dotted rain boots, a flowered skirt, and
skirt or solid skirt or a flowered skirt?
flowered. Was a pink rose skirt.
Okay.
And
a black kind of shirt.
A black T-shirt that has a neon design on it.
And how long has she been gone?
Last I saw her probably about an hour ago.
How tall is she?
She is 3'10".
3 foot? How much does she weigh?
65 pounds.
All right, stay on the phone with me. Do not hang up. What's your name?
My name is Selena Collins.
What's your phone number, Ms. Collins? It's a 6-year-old missing for an hour. All right. You last saw her in the front yard. You didn't see which way she went or anything like that?
No, she was just right in front of my front porch.
Okay. Does she have a name?
No.
All right. Have you possibly, have you walked around and tried to locate her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to stay in your yard, okay? Because we have a unit out that has a dog just in case we need to try to track her, okay?
Okay.
So we don't need you walking. If you can just kind of stay close to the last place she was. Hold on just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any idea where she would go? Have you looked in the backyard?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am. I checked all the houses in my neighborhood and anybody that's actually answered that looking for her too.
Did she have a dog or anything with her?
No.
Okay, my officer will be there in just a few minutes.
I'm okay.
And Casey, I'm still here. Do you need anything from us? No, I don't need y'all. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm just afraid if I hang up, it's going to disconnect. That's all. All right. That's okay. Ms. Faye, if she hangs up and you disconnect and you need us back, you dial 911 again, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. If she happens to come up on the front porch before we get there.
Okay, will do.
All right. All right. They'll be there shortly.
Okay, thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Strickland today makes 1 week since 6-year-old Faye Swetlik disappeared.
A frantic search ended, unfortunately, in the news nobody wanted to hear last Thursday in heartbreak when law enforcement announced that they had, in fact, found the little girl's body in her own neighborhood, in the Churchill Heights neighborhood.
We're expecting autopsy results for Faye to be released tomorrow. Officials have scheduled a press conference for 3 tomorrow afternoon where they are expected to release the details on how Faye died.
News 19's Jacob Reynolds has been covering this case since the moment it broke and joins us now with everything we've learned about the investigation so far.
6-year-old Faye Swetlik was first reported missing around 5 p.m. on February 10th from her Churchill Heights neighborhood in Casey. Hundreds of law enforcement officers swarmed the neighborhood and began searching. 24 hours later, Casey Department of Public Safety Director Byron Snellgrove gave an update.
Well, we've not ruled anything out. We're not sure that she hasn't just walked off and is somewhere in the woods or at a neighbor's house, possibly in distress or fallen or something like that.
Snellgrove continued, saying they had no evidence of an abduction. On Wednesday, police released video of Swetlik getting off her school bus on Monday. They also closed the neighborhood and announced the search area was widening slightly. By Thursday morning, Casey DPS said investigators were still searching the area and inspecting garbage trucks and the landfill. But then Director Snellgrove made a major announcement just after 2 p.m.
It is with extremely heavy hearts that we are announcing that we have found a body that the coroner has identified as Faye Maureen Swetlik. We are now treating this case as a homicide.
Moments later, Snellgrove announced they found a second body.
We also need to inform you that during the course of our investigation, a deceased male was located in the Churchill Heights neighborhood. That investigation has just begun.
On Friday, DPS Sergeant Evan Antley said it was a piece of evidence from a trash can which led to the body.
Based on that discovery, we narrowed down an area that we felt as an investigative team that we needed to go back to and look for more evidence.
Swetlik was found in the woods between her home and a business nearby. Antley announced the body of Cody Taylor was found at his residence about 100 to 200 feet from where Swetlik disappeared.
Our evidence and our investigation does link these two together. I can confirm that he was a neighbor, that he was not a relative, he was not a friend, he was merely a neighbor that lived in Churchill Heights.
Antley said Taylor did not have a criminal record and was not known to law enforcement. He had been interviewed and his home searched earlier in the week during neighborhood canvasses. There were no additional announcements about others involved.
We have no suspects at this time. We have made no arrest, and we are not seeking any persons of interest as of this time.
The autopsy results for both Swetlik and Taylor are going to be released Tuesday at another press conference. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Jacob. Faye was first reported missing around 5 p.m., as Jacob just mentioned, on February 10th. And again, as the investigation continues, WLTX will continue to have team coverage of this story for you and updates throughout the day.
And of course, we are going to be at that press conference tomorrow waiting on these autopsy results. The autopsies, as we know, were completed Saturday. Faye's was done at MUSC. Those details we now know are going to be released tomorrow at 3 p.m. in a press conference.
The coroner's office says they wanted to respect Faye's family so that they could have privacy and time to process this difficult information.
All right, we know a lot of you would like to come together and have come together to grieve. At Saturday night at a vigil, Faye's mom actually told us that there will be a private wake and private funeral service for Faye. The family wants to keep it that way. Kaufman Harmon Funeral Home has confirmed that all of the funeral costs will be covered. A memorial and guest book for Faye has been placed at the funeral home on North Lake Drive in Lexington.
Community members are invited to stop by and sign the book if they would like to. And a public memorial service for Faye will be held on Friday at Trinity Baptist Church on Charleston Highway in Casey. That starts at 7 p.m. The family is asking anyone in attendance to wear bright colors in honor of Faye. They say her favorite colors were pink and purple.
Well, more vigils were held over the weekend as hundreds of people came together on Saturday night right outside of Faye's neighborhood there, the Churchill Heights neighborhood in Casey. And her parents were there, Selena and Chad, who you see. They thanked everybody for their love and support.
And investigators still ask for your help in gathering information about this case. Anyone with tips or video that you think would be helpful for law enforcement, please call this phone number. It's dedicated to Faye Marie Swetlik and tips leading to information about her disappearance and her murder. That number is 803-205-4444.
Can anybody out there hear my voice? Does anybody out there really care?
Okay, and we're back. So we've seen the press conferences where Faye was still missing. The press conference where cops told us, unfortunately, that Faye's body had been found. And then, of course, the additional press conference where we all learned the name of Cody Scott Taylor. They were making it seem as though the two deaths were not connected. Then they admitted the deaths were linked. And then they had that press conference on the 18th of the autopsy results, which I will be showing you later after I share with you some of the social media posts that I have found. But first, I want to talk namely about the confusion that had risen because of the lack of information being received from authorities. And I feel that this is why the rumor mill and speculation of the quote-unquote fake news can proliferate. It almost feels like this battle sometimes between cops and the press, because, you know, the cops use the press, of course, to get the word out. They almost try and play the press in a way by teasing the public with information that the teasers don't need to be there. For example, police could have just told us, yes, Faye's body was found. We don't know if it was in a shallow grave or somewhere, you know, behind the Napa Auto Parts store near Cody Taylor's apartment. But let me break here for a moment and read you. This I found is from a woman who shall remain nameless. But it's giving us insight into who Cody might have been. She writes, guys, this guy, she means Cody, lived in my neighborhood as a kid.
He was obsessed with me, writing me notes, making me CDs, trying to hold my hand, and lots of other weird stuff. He was in high school and I was in middle school. She said he definitely did something to that little girl. As I walked into the kitchen to grab a cup of coffee earlier, I was thinking about this guy. Was he just born evil? Did he have evil in him? Did he feed the evil and just waited to strike? So obviously there was a problem if he was, and that's his high school picture you see here from Bluffington High School. Now, if he was in high school and he's trying to hit on a middle school girl, okay, now that's a problem. And that's something that brought up a big red flag in my head.
About Cody. You just let me break here again for a second. This was allegedly written by Cody, that the response, at least the response he wrote. The one guy wrote, being creepy is an uninvitable part of young men learning to speak to women they're interested in. Young men shouldn't allow women who never had to be the pursuer shame them for trying and not being perfect at it on their first tries. Cody allegedly wrote, your post really hits home for me. I'll be 30 in a couple of months and am in the same boat. Got just a bit sad reading this, but for the most part, I stopped caring about trying to find a relationship a few years ago. I get the occasional pain of loneliness, but usually work life keeps me too busy to think about it. Not really saying it gets better. The occasional pains are still there, but it's been a long time since I actually got depressed about it. And this what made me look into a little bit further, this which will lead me into my next post that I found. And he has on 3 YouTube channels, but I'm gonna one is Umberstrone, and another one is there's 2 that are Cody Taylor, which I'm gonna touch in here because there is something really creepy here that that I had found in a post on Facebook. Someone had found. And the post reads, I located another YouTube account under the name Cody Taylor, spelled the same unique way, from 4 years ago. It was really creepy and leads me to speculate that it belonged to the same person. Only 2 videos are uploaded, both creepy, but get this, the title of the second video is Dead Kid. The comments are turned off for the video, and the only thing written under the video description is the chillingly ominous statement, he never knew it was coming. Take a look at that.
They're gone.
Oh my god, this is bull.
No noise.
That's just... The ghosts don't either. Oh, this is gonna be a cute one.
Sounds and looks pretty pedophile. I got a pedophile feeling out of that. I don't know if you have, but I have. And it is sad. This is not to show sympathy for him. It's in my mind, it's like, how can we help guys like this get on a better path and not harm children? Maybe some people are just born evil and doomed to destruction the way they call Judas in the Bible. But this guy, could he have been helped? You know, why was he in high school trying to hit on a middle schooler? Why do guys like this not go for girls their own age? You know, women their own age? What is it that is feeding this horrible obsession? As the one woman wrote. I want to talk about that more, but I also want to talk about how I believe confusion can be alleviated. I've seen this a lot in different crime cases where the cops, they get up there, even especially in the Harley Dilly case. There's a lot of animosity against the press. Sometimes, whereas if cops just give us facts, then that helps alleviate fake news. We learn a lot of facts, sometimes from neighbors, from people posting on social media, like some of the posts that I've showed you, who claim they knew the killer or different victims. And a lot of it turns out to be true. You'll see a post coming up that was posted on Web Sleuth where someone named Cody Taylor's name, and they spelled it correctly before the police gave us that name. He or she claimed that Cody Taylor committed suicide. She claimed that he or she, whoever the poster is, claimed that Cody Taylor had a roommate, and there was allegedly a boot and a knife found in the trash. But now that we know that cops are saying that they found a boot and a ladle with dirt in it. The person had also posted on websites that it was the roommate who found Cody Taylor. And here's what the post says. I have some information on the man found dead. I know his roommate. The man in question is Cody Taylor, spelled correctly. And this was before the police told us that his roommate found him dead of an apparent suicide. And he saw the police outside and went to tell them about it. They detained him for hours today and had FBI at his girlfriend's house and work. He was released and no info has reached me beyond this. There is a rumor from someone else in the neighborhood who said she saw the police find a bloody knife in a child's rain boot. No confirmation on that, she said. I'll reply again if I find out more. Now, obviously, that person had insider information because they were also able to release Cody's name correctly before the police even told us, which doesn't need to happen. You know, the police can tell us things first. They don't have to tell us everything. There's a way that they can still be sensitive to Faye's loved ones, but also get the facts out there, and that helps alleviate the speculation. Now, this is a weird post that someone, this woman had kind of jokingly told Cody when he was 20, it totally would have been cool if we had found you a high school or age of consent is 14. So she pointed to this video where these guys go through the ages of consent in every single state in the United States. And they even said something about 12-year-olds in that video. It was weird. It's still on Daily Motion, I believe. And they said something about 12-year-olds, I think, being legal in other countries. Oh, it was just too much. It was really creepy. But my whole point is, police could have said Cody Taylor is the dead man. They could say things like and apparent suicide. I know cops don't want to put misinformation out there. Of course, they want to wait for autopsy results, which came on Tuesday, the 18th of February, which I'll be bringing you into that very shortly. However, I believe this little cat and mouse game of information doesn't have to go on. They could tell us we found this, and they did indeed find a knife. We believe it's linked to him. We believe he abducted her, and her. If they needed to come back and correct anything, they could. That's fine. But as it stands, these people still screaming on social media, you don't know if Cody was the killer. It could be someone else. And that's what throws all the suspicion and shade on other people that you might not be guilty of anything. People in this neighborhood were still wondering, is there a different killer roaming around that we need to know about? Can our kids even go outside? I bet you right now, I mean, that would be, that would be me if even, if it was my daughter. There's some moms and dads who probably won't even let their kids go outside at all in that area. They don't know facts because police haven't given us all the facts yet. But then people criticize the media and the press for fake news when facts are being withheld. So that's my little rant there. Hopefully that'll change. Not all police departments are like that. Of course, they work hard, of course. Again, if what is being said in that web sleuth posting is true, I think there's a reason why police act this way. Police often, of course, they want crime solved. If any of us were police officers, we would want it solved. But sometimes police have a little bit of egg on their face because they were inside Cody's apartment. They were in there, and then apparently they went back. Now, if it's true that they were in there the first time, like they admit, while they were in there, and they didn't catch him or find her at that point. So, in my next video, I will be doing a session with two paranormal. They're pretty knowledgeable, and one of them can hear spirits, the voices from the spirit box that some people can't even hear. She's good at picking up things, and she's also good at feeling things. And the first one we did, when we got done with it and tried to convert it, it was corrupted, so they could not send that to me, so I don't have that. But that will be my next video that's coming up, asking a lot of questions and hoping to get a lot of answers too. And the reason why I'm doing this spirit box is because I had an incident that happened on the evening of the public memorial, the tribute for her. And while the tribute was playing, the video of her singing and everything, I heard a noise in my bathroom. It's like something fell. So I went to go check it, and sure enough, something had fallen, and it was my body wash. And so I said, okay, all right, something just came off the shelf. And so I walked back in the living room, sat in my recliner. It was like a minute or so later when my Google Assistant went off. Now, my phone was almost across the room, and the word welcome came on. Then about 2 minutes later, my printer, which is over on the other side of the room, just started loading up. So, of course, I went over to turn it off, and as I turned around to come back to my recliner, I felt something go right through my body. It was a cool sensation, not hot. It was cool. And it stopped me dead in my tracks. And I couldn't move. And then, at the same time as this all was happening, I felt sadness, but not as much as sadness as happy joy. And then a couple days later, which would have been Sunday the 22nd, because Friday the 20th was her memorial. I got something, just a feeling to go into a broadcast, a live stream on YouTube. And these are going to be the people that are going to be doing the spirit box in my next video. As the live stream loaded and the chat was going, I heard the voice from the one that's really good, that can pick up things and sense things and hear things that other people can't, but very faintly. Okay, I heard a voice and it sounded like Faye's. In the video from singing, that she was singing, it sounded just like that, but it was very, very faint. And as I heard that, she said, "Is there a Faye in the room?" And that was like, okay, something is telling me something. And I got that feeling that it was Faye. It really bugged me for a few days. So actually I talked to a friend of mine who has his own paranormal show on YouTube, and he has someone that actually is in his home that he communicates with. And he said that he did a private session with himself, asking this spirit that's in his house if Faye was actually with me at the time, and if she was working through me to try and help get some answers. So, and like he said, yes, she chose me because she feels that this is a safe place to go, because when the spirits, okay, when they go to heaven, it's not that they visit. They visit when they come to a place where they feel safe, because they know they're also safe in heaven. So, speaking with this guy, and explaining a few things to me, I really started believing the fact that it was, just this urge that I had, and to be able to continue on with this case and to try to get answers, not only for the public, not for for myself, but also for the family. And so that will be my next video that's coming up. I'm hoping it will be here very short. After the end of this premiere video, you can head on over to dlive.tv/SYM radio, and I will be streaming that spirit box done on March 11th. There was a lot of questions, a lot of answers to the questions I had pertaining to Cody and Faye. And also, during the whole time of this spirit box, there was a name that kept coming, that the spirits kept saying, and that was Mike. And Mike is friends with the roommate, Eric. Eric is the one who found Cody, who came running out to the authorities, saying that he just found his roommate dead from suicide. Why this name was coming up, I do not know. But there is a reason. You'll see, because I went to Google Maps and we checked it out. And there's the lake, a pond, and a marsh that has a connection with this, this session here, the spirits, with the name of Mike. And where Mike is friends with. So, is there possibly a body there? Is Mike there? Is Mike alive? Is he dead? Whatever. We don't know. So I hope you come in tonight and listen to that. And if you'd like to chat with us in the chat room, you can. All you have to do is just verify your email address, and that's it. So I hope to see you there in the chat tonight at dlive.tv/SYM radio. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Hope to see you there. And due to copyright issues, I cannot show you the press conference, but the link is left in the description below of this video.
She said yes, Ed. I didn't even have to read the question, and we'll ask it now. Did Eric hurt Faye in any way?
Yes.
Eric?
Eric.
Yeah. Faye.
Faye? Yes.
Faye. Yeah. Faye.
Yeah. Yes.
So maybe he was the one that killed them both. Was Eric the one that killed Faye and Cody? A knife? They said knife.
You're saying yep. Yes.
Yeah, knife. Yep.
You heard those, right?
Yep.
Spirits? Did Eric dump the bodies of Cody and Faye?
Yes. I heard yes right away.
Yeah.